So it all started for me, this story started in a very damp pub in England, in the UK, in London, where I was asked, this is actually a picture of the pub, so if any of you ever come to London, I'll take you in the pub where this whole story started for me and where my interest in making things better for us. So this started in a pub. It has, of course, some theory behind it, but it started with a conversation of can we destroy some samples? We've had the database going live now since 1995. We're absolutely groaning with samples in the laboratory. We've contacted the police service, we've contacted the other parties in the criminal justice system, and we're simply just running out of space. So they would ask me, would I be able to sanction the destruction of these samples? And I stood at the bar thinking about this for a little while, because the conversation was in the pub. And I said, well, actually, that doesn't seem very sensible. And I actually said no. I said no because if you look at it, these people, these victims, have been victimised in the most appalling way. Short of murder, these people have been truly victimised. And then they've been doubly victimised. They've been doubly victimised by a very intrusive sexual assault examination. So we put these victims through that. We've collected samples from them, and then we put them in the freezer for 20 odd years. And now you're asking me to sanction these for destruction. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But what we will do is that we will reanalyse these samples. We'll bring them up to the standard of the day. We'll then load them to the database, and let's see what we get out of it. So that was the backdrop of this story, and I'll go through this very quickly because I know time's short. So why does it matter? Why does it matter what we do with these things? Does it matter at all? This is taken from, I suppose, criminological theory, where if you look at the patterns of offending, I suppose we could say that sort of normal, the non-sexual criminal, they follow a pattern of sexual offending, like this. This is age. You can see that it follows the general sort of Gaussian curve. And it starts around about 10 years of age, comes up to a crescendo, and then peters off. These are the people who are actually going to start committing crime, and I'm sure you've got much more experience than I have at this. So people start young.
You're a lady police officer because, when you have to narrate the incidents which have happened to you need to have a comfort level. So to get that comfort level, we have a lady police officer. यहाँ से हम लोग NGO को बुलाते हैं। NGO के बाद हम लोग विक्टिम असिस्टेंट यूनिट में जाते हैं, वहाँ उनका स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड होता है, उसके बाद कोर्ट में स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड होता है। All these things happens. Then when the case goes to the court, where I think the PP ma'am will throw more light on that, कि acquittal कितना होता है, conviction कितना होता है, acquittal के reasons क्या होते हैं. This is very important aspect. Acquittal बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, conviction rate is very less. So हमारा एक प्रोसीजर होता है जुडिशरी का, उसमें इतना टाइम दिया जाता है. इनफैक्ट मैं आपको बताऊँ तो when we are in the process of registering the case, if we have registered the case today, the relative is involved. कल लड़की अपना statement बदल देती है, बच्ची अपना statement बदल देती है because of the pressure from the family. Awareness is one of the key. हमारे पास अभी गोवा में भी cases आए हैं. What we are doing is, and what I requested Peter sir also that day, one day when we were in the session, that we should put, थोड़े कुछ हम reporting boxes और स्कूल में लगा दें. College students तो चलो grown up होते हैं, they don't have any problem, but schools, teachers से molestation होता है, parents family में किसी से होता है, तो they should, if they are afraid to come out in open, वो एक लेटर डाल दें. Admit should be opened by a police officer, not by the principal, because we have seen in many cases जहाँ स्कूल वाले भी इसे बचते हैं. If a case is reported to a principal or a teacher and she or he is not reporting it to the police, then they are also an accused. अगर आपकी नॉलेज में आ गया कि आप अब मैं तो पुलिस ऑफिसर हूँ, मैं अगर जा रही हूँ, मैं देखती हूँ कि कोई रोड पे झगड़ा कर रहा है, my duty to stop and see why are they fighting, and see that it does not escalate, and see that they are brought to the police station. Whatever solution has to be done has to be done. बट ये सबकी ड्यूटी है. आप लोगों की नॉलेज में, जहाँ किसी की भी नॉलेज में कुछ ऐसे केसेस आते हैं, इट्स आवर ड्यूटी. वी आर बाउंड बाय आवर ड्यूटी, बाय ड्यूटीज. हम लोग की ड्यूटी होती है कि हम लोग एक विजिलेंट सिटीजन बने. जो आज हम लोग देख रहे हैं वो हो सकता है कल हमारे बच्चों के साथ हो सकता है कभी हमारे साथ भी हुआ हो. सो जस्ट ट्राई टू बी कंपैशनेट. एंड जो रेप केसेस हैं, जो असॉल्ट वुमेन रिलेटेड केसेस हैं, देखिए हमारा जो सोसाइटी का फैब्रिक है वो ऐसा है कि इट्स नॉट दैट कि हमारा ये जो अभी हम फिगर्स की बात कर रहे थे कि हमारे फिगर्स बढ़ गए हैं. आपको क्या लगता है फिगर्स में मतलब एक्चुअल में ये केसेस बढ़े या रिपोर्टिंग बढ़ेगी? इज रिपोर्टिंग. व्हाई? बिकॉज वी आर क्रिएटिंग मोर अवेयरनेस. बिकॉज नाउ द स्कूल किड्स, आई रिमेंबर व्हेन आई यूज्ड टू गो टू स्कूल, हम लोगों के टाइम में कुछ ऐसा नहीं था. इफ आई से फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल कि मुझे किसी ने बचपन में, मान लो मेरे रिलेटिव ने असॉल्ट किया हो, मेरे पास कोई मैकेनिज्म नहीं था किसी को बताने का. I could not have gone to my mother, to my father, to any of my relatives, even to my brother and sister, and tell them, because it was considered as a taboo. और ये आज चीज़ें ख़त्म नहीं हुई हैं, मिनिमाइज हुई हैं, ख़त्म नहीं हुई. When Peter sir was talking about this incest cases, see. One of the main problem which police faces is that when a victim says that she has been assaulted by her relative, maybe father, maybe stepfather, maybe grandfather, maybe chacha, mama, friend of parents, anyone. हमारे जब उसकी फैमिली की नॉलेज में आता है तो वो बहुत कम ऐसे लोग होते हैं who says कि हाँ, yes, go to the police station, register a case, arrest the accused. रिलेटिव्स को बचाने में लोग लग जाते हैं. आई विल शेयर अ केस विद यू. देयर वाज अ 3-year-old गर्ल and 3.5, she was a nursery student when I was in Delhi. This is a Delhi case from a very reputed school. Her mother complained, she made a PCR call that my girl is having some problems and stomach ache and I think she has been sexually assaulted. Okay, our staff went, she was medically examined. प्रॉब्लम हुआ था. जब हमने लड़की बच्ची से और उसकी मदर से अकेले में बात करी तो she took the name of grandfather. As soon as the father of the girl came, he just ran away with the daughter and he thrashed, abused his wife कि मैं तुझे भी छोड़ दूंगा अगर मेरे बाप को फंसाएगी. ये आज भी होता है. हम लोग पढ़े लिखे हैं जो भी हैं, लेकिन ये आज भी होता है. When I was posted in Andaman Nicobar Islands, I just made a analysis of the rape cases on my own because it's an area of interest for me. I love investigation. Out of somewhere around, Andaman is a peaceful place, ज़्यादा rape cases होते नहीं. Somewhere around 60-70 cases जितने थे, most of the cases, around 90% of the cases were of either live-in relationship turned soul, boyfriend girlfriend, और जो माइनर जो फोर्स्ड रेप होता है जिसको एक्चुअल में रेप कहेंगे डेफिनेशन में, वो बहुत कम था. हमारा जो राइट्स फिगर्स में हम देखते हैं गोवा में तो फिर भी बहुत कम है. वी हैव बीन पोस्टेड मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम इन दिल्ली. वहाँ पे हम लोगों का जो रेप केसेस होता है वो लिव इन रिलेशनशिप्स का बहुत होता है. देयर इज यूपीएससी सेंटर पूरा दिल्ली में 3-4-5 हब्स ऐसे हैं. कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर है. लिव-इन रिलेशनशिप्स आर वेरी कॉमन. व्हेन रिलेशनशिप्स टर्न सोर टू वर्क, लड़कियां कंप्लेन करती हैं. नाउ देयर आर मेनी फोरम्स ऑफ मेन आल्सो कमिंग इन. दे से दैट इफ वी आर इन अ कंसेंशुअल रिलेशनशिप, देन व्हाई इज मेल पार्टनर ओनली द अक्यूज्ड? हाउ इज ही अक्यूज्ड? आई एग्री टू इट. आई मे not sound like a police officer, but I agree to it.
Then I felt that although we have very strong legislation system, very strong rules and regulation and laws to protect and provide safeguard to woman and child, but just I have seen yesterday's report itself, which is released by National Crime Record Bureau (NCRB), and what I found as per the record itself, I found almost 4,45,256 cases reported against crime cases registered against the woman. So although this percentage is not too much with respect to the woman, almost 4% in case of in the comparison of 2021. But if you will compare the assault and rape cases, then there is a rise of almost 18.7, nearly 20%. 20% rise in the crime of sexual assault and rape cases. So it clearly indicates this type of cases are really increasing rapidly. To address this critical issue, we are here, and the main objective of this workshop is also that we need to address and on the real-time basis, so that our investigation agencies can expedite this kind of cases and also differentiate various fake cases, or we can say genuine cases, because nowadays I have also seen some of the articles where it is also highlighted. So investigation is the process which can clear out also these things. So whether sexual assault cases related to rape, child abusing, immoral trafficking, or cyber crime related to women harassment, revenge, greed, or blackmailing. So objective of this workshop is not only to generate and educate and create awareness among all the participants and experts, but it will also create cooperation and help, so that the investigation process related to sexual assault cases can be expedited on real-time basis.
43,633 CSAM files were downloaded in Goa in 2021. So that's very alarming, and almost 90% of those files were self-generated. So the grooming happens in such a way that our own children generate their images and upload it in online space. So that is one aspect where we have not been prepared, and we need to do a lot, especially build a capacity of our stakeholders to address. When I go around interacting with the stakeholders, I found lack of knowledge, and I don't know how many of us in the room also knows, especially those who are from cyber might know all this, but generally there is lack of knowledge that again concerns us. The prevention program, again, we need to invest in prevention program and also research. We are not able to understand, especially in the context of Goa, there are not many researches done to understand what are the contributing causes to the rise in child sexual abuse. Especially recent times, we have seen those who are protectors of children has been abusing. We have recorded a few incest cases, around 6 cases of teachers abusing the students. Again, delayed reporting, especially in the context of schools, delayed reporting is something which worries us. The other aspect is adolescent pregnancies, 85 of them in recent times. And more alarming is that a lot of these are detected in the late stages. We have found young students studying in the class not knowing that they are pregnant even in the 4th and 5th month of their pregnancy. So these are the things which bothers us, and again it puts a responsibility on us. So what Commission has done is recently we have tied up with Arpan. Arpan is one of the largest pan-India organization working on child sexual abuse. We have trained 3,000 teachers, and in January again we will train another another 2,000 teachers.
11 to 15, 8.5%. 15 to 20, can you believe what is the percentage? Anybody can guess? 15 to 20? Around 70% victims are from that age group. 21, 30, 11%, and 30 plus is only 2.8%. This is the realistic data from one of the district. Now coming to socio-economic background of these assault victims. Lower strata 53%, middle class 44%, high class, upper class people can say 2.1%. Then come to what is the background of the offenders. Gender, there may be so many people, but if you bracketize the offenders, mostly accused are uneducated or 8th and 9th standard passed. Here the role of Indian Hindi film comes where you see the hero is 0 passed or 10th passed and heroine well read, return for families and she died for the love. That is a not case. Education matters. While choosing your partner or friend, you should go by your educational or his educational or her educational background. They are not financially stable, alcoholic driven, unemployed, and one major thing, our friend Dr. Bagis stated that they are driven by the pornographic sites and other things which vitiate the minds. Now the most critical question comes, where you are studying DNA based evidences, non-DNA based evidences. I will come to that by this figure. Do you know the relationship of offenders with the girl or boy or lady or whoever she is? Boyfriend is 50%. Live-in partner around 4%, husband 6.5%, colleagues around 3 to 4%, stepfather around 4%, mother's living partner, this is an important point, mother's living partner 3% are the offenders for that girl or the lady. And I am telling you these are the actual figures, not derived from any source. If anybody wants that source also I can, and these figures are from 1st January 22 to 31st December 22, last year figures of one very densely populated district. Fraternal uncle 5%, husband's friends around 4%, neighbors around 6%, acquaintances, know who is the part of daily routine like tailor, shopkeeper, they are much in number, they are 6.5 to 7 number. Your acquaintances, those you believe them, uncle, bhaiya, sir, chacha, tau, they are around 7% of the offenders. Only in India, unlike the case scenario of the US or UK, in India only unknown people are 6.5%, unlike the US figures, the FDS figures, where unknown people are around 20 to 15% as per general report published in the 2015 to 20. So now case comes when the victim is victimized by their known one, then what the case scenario? DNA test or non-DNA test? DNA test is fraught with danger. Director prosecution ma'am, when she will speak, she will tell you why it is fraught with danger. Because there is a version of he said, she said. Boys will say she was my girlfriend, she insisted upon me. Girl will say I was raped, blah blah, all those things. Then DNA tests are proven. Then what to rely upon? All the students should focus on those issues which are non-DNA tests. And what are the non-DNA tests? Trace evidence. You must be aware of the trace evidences which are very pioneer or very important to substantiate the case of DNA test. As you know, most of the judicial people first of all rely upon 70% upon the DNA test or DNA examination, and thereafter they became reluctant to decide the cases solely on the basis of DNA test. It figures come down to 35%. So it is always better as a forensic expert, forensic scientist, you should corroborate your findings